And Renee, I'm just getting used to writing 2017, and we're already into 2018 when it comes to recruiting.
We're already into 2018. We're going to talk about the top players from 2018. It's interesting. In this year's class, 8 players on my list are on defense, 18 are on offense, and out of those 18 players, half of those are wide receivers. Out of the 8 players on defense, Rick, 6 of them are DBs. So the same type of skill position. If you want to come down to the metro area, it's always heavy in DBs and wide receivers.
So 8 years from now, nobody's going to stop nobody,
No.
it looks like, Renee. So let's go to the list. And we're going to start with Garland LaFrance from St. Augustine.
4.5 speed, 5'10", 168. He's at full speed on his second step. Great balance. He'll break arm tackles, and he doesn't give the defensive back or defensive player a good shot at him. Right now, Tulane is a front runner.
And next, from De La Salle, Jeremiah James.
He's 285 now. He was up to 303. Outstanding wrestler. He will drive his opponent off the ball as an offensive guard. He squats 600 pounds. Great balance and leverage. He gets under those pads and does a great job. Nicholls and UL Monroe, Southeastern, McNeese and Southern are all interested.
And another Cavalier as an athlete, Julian Gum.
He runs a 4.57, bench presses 300 pounds, squats over 500 with a 3.3 grade point average. He was the MVP in District 9 3A. He's a Sun Belt type of player. Rushed for over 1,100 yards, passed for over 1,100 yards and 20 touchdowns, and ran for 575 and 10 more scores. He is he'll lower that 40-yard dash time as he's running track. He's a great broken field runner.
And next as a running back from St. Paul's, Corey Williamson.
Not big right now, 185, but he'll tack on 20 to 25 pounds. Rushed for 1,157 yards last year and 17 touchdowns. Patient runner. He's quicker than he appears, good vision. He'll see the backside hole, and he's a good receiver, good pair of mitts.
And next, the wide receiver, one of those you mentioned before, Sheldon Sticks Jones from Warren Easton.
Not big, 5'9", 160, but he committed to UTSA. Memphis and Jackson State are always also interested. He could line up as a wide receiver, cornerback, kick returner, or punt returner. Very athletic, good separation from the defender, high points the ball, great upside, super hands, and he will adjust to the throw.
And next on the list we have an Archbishop Hannon Hawk, another all-around athlete, Nick Martin Mormon.
How many guys have you heard of this, Rick? He was all-district on offense and defense. He runs a 4.45 40, over 1,000 yards rushing and 13 touchdowns, tacked on 18 catches for 323 yards. He is good. He'll step up and challenge as a defensive back. Very confident. Excuse me. He runs downhill and meet the running back, and he's a very good open field tackler.
And another athlete, someone that Coach Frank Monica at St. Charles Catholic has altered his offense to take advantage of his skills, and that is Lloyd Nash.
He's like trying to catch a mosquito in a cow pasture. He had 1,785 all-purpose yards last year, 322 rushing yards in one game against Newman. Good football IQ, explosive, can play wide receiver or cornerback, 4.4 speed in the 40.
And here's a name that's going to be familiar to several of the Covington Lion faithful. Another Brumfield, this time running back Devin Brumfield.
4.55 speed, had 1,553 yards rushing last year with 17 touchdowns. His career rushing 41-34. He runs behind his pads, he breaks tackles, great extra effort, and he's a balanced guy, good lower center of gravity.
So, and here's a position that's been pretty thin so far, Renee, but he'll be getting a lot of attention. Darren Mack, the offensive tackle from McDonough 35.
Good size, Rick, 6'4.5", 285. He's got good knee bend. He moves his feet very well. He plays snap to whistle, good arm extension, and he will pull. He'll get to the second level very well.
And another wide receiver, this time from St. Augustine, a big target, Jamal Jalla.
6'2" in height, high points the ball, good concentration. He's fluid in and out of cuts. He's a good blocker downfield, good effort on each and every play.
And someone we had on the show not long ago from Riverside, Jordan Loving.
And he's also a basketball and baseball player. Quick release, pocket presence. He fires the out pattern very well. He reads the defense quickly. He's got good feet, good placement on his throws, good velocity. In the state championship game, He completed 80% of his tosses for 205 yards and a pair of scores. He moves away from pressure very well, and he was a District 9 2A MVP. A lot of schools like him. 400-pound squat, 300-pound bench press. Good for a quarterback.
Goes from sport to sport to sport. Next on the list, the first of 2 Warren Easton Eagles, this time a cornerback, Damian Tape.
4.42 speed, 40 tackles and 4 interceptions last year, along with 4 catches for 172 yards. That is a 43-yard per catch average with 2 touchdowns. He's usually assigned to the best wide receiver on the opponent's team. He's a lockdown guy, transitions very well with the wide receiver, and he will come up with a key play to change the game.
And here's another Warren Easton Eagle that he must go head-to-head every day with Damian Tape at practice, Renee, and that is a wide receiver, Johannes Tyler.
And right now, Kansas is his leader because of Tony Hall, former Warren Easton head coach, is an assistant there. Johannes, 6'4" in height, great crossing routes. He adjusts to the throw, good catching radius. He's a mismatch in the red zone, as you can imagine. He'll find that crease in the defense, and he's good positioning with his body, and he gets behind the coverage with good speed.
And here's an outside linebacker concluding this particular list from St. Augustine, another edge-type player, Juan Mijares.
He's not big, 6'2", 204, but he'll tackle on some weight. Rick, he's a leader on defense. He's got a knack for making a big play. He can run, and he displays good effort. He can be maybe a strong safety or an outside linebacker type, but boy, he's a good tackler.
Well, that initial part of the list, Renee, really proves your point that we're looking at a bunch of receivers and athletes, and we're looking at a bunch of defensive backs.
Really, and this is, as you know, being a recruiter yourself, if you want to get a good defensive back, a wide receiver, this is where you come. There's so much competition, as you said, because of 7-on-7 now and so many things like that, but iron sharp as iron. So these guys who go against each other in practice every day, they make each other better.
And it's going to be interesting to see how many offensive linemen especially get developed during the season, because right now schools are probably going to have to go other places to be able to fill their lineman needs. When we come back after this break, we're going to finish the list of the top area prospects. This is Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI. We'll be right back after this.